they can't help you, Max.
It's not just these connections and these happy moments. It's that she chose them. Real positive psychology doesn't lean on false hope or affirmations that we don't believe.
I'm right here.
What is the hope that is real? She has a found family, she's got people who love her, but they can't do the work for her. She has to fight for herself. She has to choose it.
This show is a damn miracle.
West Coast, we're coming to California, baby!
Live shows.
Nailed
18th
it.
in Los Angeles, 20th in the Bay Area. A Q&A, live meet and greet, merch.
Link is in the description below.
It will be fun.
Hello, and welcome to Cinema Therapy. I'm Jonathan Decker, licensed therapist who loves movies. This is...
Alan Seawright, a professional filmmaker who needs to come back from the upside down.
Oh my gosh, come back.
Okay.
The search for Alan Seawright.
Ooh, there's even stuff drifting
There
in
it
the
is. I think that's from your dog.
I think it is.
We're going to be talking today about Max Mayfield, who started as like an okay character and then evolved into maybe the best character on the show. Maybe.
What are you talking about? She started as Mad Max.
Yeah, no, she was great.
Set all the high scores.
I'm just saying it only got better, is
good
my
point.
point, in terms of like, wow, what a character.
Yeah.
So we're going to be exploring avoidant attachment as a response to trauma and how to work through that. Because I like to say that what used to serve you is now keeping you stuck. And what helped Max stay alive in her home is now keeping her from forming healthy connections. How does she work through it? Let's look.
I love Stranger Things.
It's easy to love. So she's kind of tough girl, devil-may-care attitude, and these guys are, well, us.
Hi, I'm Dustin, and this is...
Lucas.
Yeah, I know.
The stalkers. Actually, we weren't stalking you.
No, we were just concerned because, you know, you're new and all.
Yeah, for your safety.
There are a lot of bullies here.
So many bullies is crazy.
Is that why you're wearing proton packs?
Well, these don't function. But I do have this handy-dandy little trap here, and look, it even opens and closes. Look.
This big Comic-Con energy.
Cool, right? No? Okay. But so we were talking last night, and you're new here, so you probably don't have any friends to take you trick-or-treating, and you're scared of bullies. So we were thinking...
So she seems standoffish, but she is taking it in.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, our party's a democracy, and the majority voted you could come.
I didn't realize it was such an honor to go trick-or-treating with you.
Yeah, I mean, we know where to get the full-size candy bars. We figured you'd want in.
That's presumptuous of you.
Oh.
Yeah. Totally. So, you'll come?
Rolls her eyes, too cool.
Yeah.
Okay, Max comes from an abusive home. We learn more about this as the show goes on.
Yep.
And when we look at attachment theory by John Bowlby, people develop their attachment style based on what they receive from their caregivers primarily. And what Max received from her caregiver, not good. Also from her brother, I mean, anyone in that family. Avoidant attachment style comes when people are deprived of love and affection for so long that they become, in their mind at least, self-sufficient and self-reliant. I don't need anybody.
Right.
I don't want anybody. And so they become very, not just standoffish, but they push away opportunities for connection because people hurt me. And I'm the only one I can rely on. And they treat everybody with suspicion and they trust no one, including Dustin, which is hard to do.
How do you not trust that kid? he just oozes, I'm a sweet, adorable lummox energy.
Yeah.
Like, maybe don't trust him with your taxes, but definitely trust him with, he's gonna know where the good candy bars are.
That's right. You know what I see from Max right here is when you are so used to people being threats and people being harmful, that when you are approached by people who are genuinely harmless, like Dustin and Lucas are, you're not sure what to do. This is new territory.
Especially when they have been kind of stalking.
Yeah, she has reason to be suspicious.
A bit.
Stop spying on me, creeps.
Well,
Stalking, it's a spectrum.
Okay. I'm gonna, from a legal standpoint, just point out.
Stalking's always wrong. It takes on a completely different flavor.
And they're not stalking. They're just too scared to go talk to her. Listen, we've all been there, right?
Oh,
Like Mad Max at the arcades, this show punches the nostalgia button for me.
Oh, dig dug. And it just feels like so much of our childhoods and the movies that we grew up on when we were kids.
The ones we used to geek out about when we were roommates in college.
Those were the good old days.
Except for the part where you were super stressed and broke and only ate when I bought you burritos.
I kind of have nostalgia for that. It was only for a few weeks though, and it was because I was so focused and stressed about making it in the film industry that I lost sight of what was going on in my life at that moment. That's never happened to me ever again. I'd figured out what I was meant for. Yes, I'm one of those I have a true calling people, even though I literally think that's insane. I still am one. I was just consumed by like reaching this mythical future where I would have achieved success. I'm constantly focused on what will be great instead of focusing on like appreciating what's so awesome about my life right now. And my therapist constantly reminds me to savor those things, and maybe one of these years I'll finally listen to her, maybe.
And speaking of therapy, today's video is sponsored by BetterHelp.
We know it can be hard or even scary to start therapy, but BetterHelp is on a mission to make starting therapy easier.
They'll connect you with a licensed therapist who is trained to give you helpful, unbiased advice.
BetterHelp accepts both HSA and FSA cards, making it even easier to prioritize your mental health.
In 2024 alone, over 137,000 people use their HSA or FSA benefits for therapy through BetterHelp, so be sure to use yours before they expire.
Click the link in the description or go to betterhelp.com/cinematherapy and get 10% off your first month of therapy. BetterHelp, taking the mind flayer out of your mind.
No.
It's just we're stuck here. So
You're right. We're stuck here. And whose fault is that?
Mars.
What'd you say?
Nothing.
You say it's my fault?
No.
You know whose fault it is. Say it.
So this is real healthy.
Healthier than his mustache. That thing is not. Whoa. We see a bit of why Max is how she is and where she comes from.
Yeah.
Because Billy is not just abusive or cruel, he is unstable.
Billy, slow down.
Oh, these your new hate friends?
No, I don't know them.
Well, I guess you won't care if I hit him then, huh? I get bonus points, I get them all in one go?
No, Billy, stop. It's not funny.
The scary thing here is he messing with her or is he actually going to do it? Because with Billy,
We don't know.
That was a close one, huh?
What's that? Mad Max.
Wow.
yeah.
It's hard to watch. Like you never want to see, and this is one of the things that actually Stranger Things does really, really well. People talk about all the Spielberg and Amblin movies of our childhood that
Kids on bikes.
constantly put kids in actual danger.
Yeah.
And Spielberg loved doing that because it's like he likes scaring people. Scaring people is fun. And it's
Yeah.
fun to scare kids.
Well, and kids like to watch movies where kids are in danger as long as the kids come out okay.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And one of the things that Stranger Things does that's really, really great is it puts kids in
Actual
danger.
Yeah.
Like they're getting sucked into the upside down. They're victims of actual abuse. Like there's a lot of stuff going on here. We've kind of sanitized that out of most of our media, and I think maybe to our detriment.
Yeah.
I think seeing stories of kids dealing with actual shit, but dealing with it and coming out stronger and better, which we're going to see with Max way down the road, is really valuable and helpful, not just for fuddy-duddies like us, but actually for children.
Yeah. Well, for kids who are going through hard things in real life, specifically, seeing characters like Max and attaching to them and following that journey can be healing. And that's the power of stories. That's the power of art, is that we vicariously live through these characters.
Yeah.
And kids who aren't going through hard things, I had a really privileged childhood, but I know that media and pop culture helped me to understand at least a little bit what some other people were going through.
There were a lot of kids who didn't.
Yeah, exactly.
We, get to see here that, there's a reason she doesn't attach well to other people. There is danger in them thar hills.
Yeah.
If I get another Three Musketeers, I'm gonna kill myself.
So she craves social engagement, but it's going to be on her own avoidant terms, as we'll see here. It's surface level, there's no emotions, and she's not even going to bring up what happened with her brother, which She kind of should. Her brother tried to kill these guys.
Seriously, I could just.
But it's like it never happened.
Straight up.
Also, I'm on Team Lucas. Three Musketeers can go suck
You
it.
should have seen the look on your faces. And you? Who screams like that? You sound like a little girl. Hey, you guys coming or not? Ooh, I heard we should hit up Loch Nora. That's where the rich people live, right?
Poor Mike. And I say that a lot when I'm watching the show.
Helpful Cherry Road. Oh. No, that's fine. I mean, the street's good for skating.
Yeah, totally tubular. What, did I say that right? Or is it like tubular?
It's like
Totally tubular. Totally tubular.
She was like at once too cool for it and grateful.
Absolutely loving it.
Grateful for the reprieve.
Yeah.
Honestly, I used to work with at-risk teenagers. That was actually my first gig in the arena of psychology and therapy.
Sometimes Papa doesn't tell the truth.
Yeah, you were doing that while we were roommates.
Yeah, I was doing that when we were roommates. And for a lot of them, any sort of healthy connection is an oasis, even with complete dweebs.
If you go from my half-brother might kill my new friends to my new friends don't know how to say the word tubular.
Yeah.
I know which one I'm picking.
And you could see at the locker when she was internalizing everything that they were saying, she acted too cool and she was being dismissive. Why? It's that avoidant attachment style.
Yeah.
And here she's taking a step out of it to attach, but she's still avoidant in the sense that she's avoiding anything deeper or anything real. It's too soon because she doesn't know them that well, but also she wouldn't know how to talk about it if she tried.
It's all surface level. It's where do we get the good candy bars? It's
Yeah.
what are your costumes? Haha, I'm Mike Myers. I'm going to stab you. You know?
Right. But you know what? That in and of itself is majorly healing. Having a place and having people with whom you are safe. For all the drum banging I do about talk therapy and deep diving and being vulnerable, and that's all true. It's also healing just to have a place to belong.
Yeah.
Okay. We grew up in the 80s.
Yeah, two things immediately. This just feels like my childhood. A, going to the mall. B, seeing all that shit.
And also,
Try things
a
on.
makeover montage is the most
It's
80s.
the most 80s movie thing you could do. Like, it stepped fully into John Hughes right here.
Not
Max
Papa.
is opening up to healthy
Not Mike.
connections. She's exploring that space with 11. I think she feels a kindred spirit with 11 because 11's also been through some shit.
Well, and they're both outsiders,
Right.
right? One's from California and one's from a lab.
Of course they would use this song. Brene Brown talks a lot about vulnerability. In fact, if you're only half awake paying attention to Brene Brown, that's all you really hear is how important it is to be vulnerable.
Sure.
But if you actually get into the details of Brene Brown, she also drives home it's important to be vulnerable with the people who are safe to be vulnerable with. It's not just a virtue to be vulnerable and to trust. In fact, that will get you burned and that will get you hurt, which is a reason why a lot of people shut down.
Yeah.
When you find people who demonstrate that they're badasses, this is the first time we see her carefree,
Yes.
which is a big deal for her. And it speaks to, of course, the people that she's found, but also the work that she has done to choose to trust them and to be safe around them.
Right.
And that's a big step. And sometimes that blows up in your face. I mean, no pun intended with like the Orange Julius, but like sometimes that blows up in your face. And that is the dance of life. And,
It is.
and it's the whole reason why you do it in degrees, right? You never just give everyone all your trust. You never open up all the way. You give them a little bit and you see what they do with it, right? A little bit more and a little bit more. But healthy connections are so vital for healing. And we see it here with Max. This is a girl who is approaching wholeness.
Yeah.
She's got work to do, but she can actually enjoy life.
And as always, if you want to check this out on Patreon, we have a director's cut of this episode. It came out a couple days ago, and it's way longer with some deleted scenes that we could not show on YouTube because Stranger Things is not YouTube friendly sometimes.
Kind of grisly.
Yeah. And like all good storytelling, once your character approaches wholeness, what do?
Rip it away.
You absolutely annihilate them.
Billy, get up, please. Billy, wake up, please, please.
Sorry.
Billy, wake up. Billy, get up, please. Billy.
Because the hardest part about abusive relationships is they are still relationships.
It's okay.
And generally the people who hurt you, they matter to you on some level. I mean, maybe at a certain point you say screw that and you turn it off and shut it off, but... Yeah. And I think Max had pity for Billy because she knew all too well the abuse he came from. She experienced it herself.
Yeah.
So we're going to see Max backslide now.
Mm-hmm.
Because, again, attachment leads to pain.
Yeah.
Which, listen, attachment leads to peace and safety and warmth and fulfillment and a lot of great things. Attachment does lead to pain.
It's inevitable, yeah.
Yeah. It's part and parcel of the deal. A lot of times people backslide into what they know, what's served them before. And when I say what helped you before is now keeping you stuck, her avoidant attachment style, not getting too involved, not getting too emotional, allowed her to withstand the verbal and physical abuse.
It helped protect her from her father and her brother.
Right.
And those two people are now out of her life, and she doesn't need that tool anymore.
Right. I always compare it to the monkey bars. Like, this bar got you to where you are, but now it's time to let go of it.
Sure.
Right? And she's having a hard time with that for understandable reasons. Well, so after Billy's death, Max has withdrawn and isolated, which makes her very vulnerable to Vecna, who, wow, what a creature design.
Incredible.
It's right here, I got it.
I love the subtext of music therapy here.
Yeah, it's great.
that songs can pull you out, and I'm going to talk on this in a second, but when you're dealing with someone who is trauma triggered, orienting them back to reality and how you do that.
They can't help you, Max.
Oof.
There's a reason you hide from them.
You hide from them because you're like your brother.
Belong here with me.
You're not really here.
Oh, but I am Max. I am.
So cool.
Oh my gosh. So creepy and so awesome.
Can you imagine what they're thinking on the ground?
Listen, with what these kids have been through, they're like, this is just a Thursday.
But here...
Letter. We're right here. I'm right here.
It's not just these connections and these happy moments. It's that she chose them.
Yeah.
And she has to also choose to fight this overwhelming darkness, abandon hope. I love that you can see her eyes start to come back a little bit, you know? I mean, this is giving a little bit of Harry Potter possessed by Voldemort in Order of the Phoenix vibes, you know, like,
sure,
when he remembers his friends and all the good things and it helps him, but doesn't mean it's not effective again. Oh! And Harry Potter never did that.
Yeah. Maybe the show will.
But the symbolism, of course, is that she has to fight for herself. She has a supportive network, she has a found family, she's got people who love her, but they can't do the work for her. They can't pull her out, they can't run for her, they can't stab Vecna in the neck for her, they can't choose to come out. She has to choose it.
Right.
And this is something that I often tell people when it comes to therapy and they want to help their loved ones. I'm like, you have to have clear what is your role and what only they can do.
Yeah. Well, and I love, okay, I'm just going to nerd out about set design here for a second.
Tell me.
The design of Vecna's realm, of this broken place that's full of, like, shattered trees and buildings and blood and smoke, as a place that pulls you in and, like, if you are broken, this is where you belong.
Yeah.
And just the symbolism of, I find and hurt and break people who want that. And he convinces them that they want it.
Yeah.
It is such a good villain for any show, but for this show in particular, and especially for Max. I love that the villain for season 4 is a big, giant sort of world-ending villain, because those are the stakes you need when the show is getting as big as Stranger Things is getting.
Yeah.
But it's also deeply personal, and it's not personal for Elle or the original members of the party.
Yeah.
It's personal for their friend that they've adopted, who is the one who is the most vulnerable because of
what she's been through. Yeah. It's a real dick move for Vecna to go after the most vulnerable people.
That's what predators do, though.
That is what predators do. Back to the music therapy piece.
Oh, yeah. Talk to me about this.
So when you're dealing with someone who is triggered by a traumatic memory, in the most extreme cases, they will actually believe that they are back in the time and place.
Right.
More often, they know when and where they are, but emotionally it feels like I am just as vulnerable and threatened and in as much danger as I was then.
That's why people have panic attacks, right?
Exactly.
It doesn't make any sense to have a panic attack right now.
Right. I did a role play one time where it was a person having a PTSD flashback from war.
Okay.
And what I was trained to do in this role play is, okay, get down, feel the carpet. You didn't have carpet like this in the Middle East when you were over there fighting. Look at your flat screen television. You are in your apartment right now, and get them grounding and oriented to when and where they are. And music is a great way to do that because it takes you out of whatever headspace you're in, whether you literally don't know when and where you are, or you know rationally but emotionally you're right back into the trauma. It can pull you out. Just like music can trigger a traumatic memory, music can also trigger positive. It can trigger the things that make you happy. It can trigger memories of real connections, genuine connections. That's why I often tell people one of the best ways to combat a trauma trigger is with a happiness trigger. If you have something that reminds you of safety, if you have something that reminds you of feeling loved, if you have something that reminds you of belonging, listen to that. Smell that smell, eat that food, and that can help bring you out of it. And that to me is the power of them popping in that cassette tape.
Yep.
Because suddenly she remembers my friends over there.
Right.
Something different, and I can seize hold of that. Max is hearing those lyrics and it's helping her.
Yeah. First of all, just the tonality of the music. It is a haunting, ethereal, slightly sad, but kind of optimistic tone to the song.
Yeah.
Right? It's a pop song that makes you feel sad, but like you can move on from it.
Yeah.
If that makes any sense.
Yeah.
Just tonally, that's what it does. And obviously the lyrics, I mean, pretty on the nose. I'm running up that hill.
Uphill battle, right?
Sure, yeah.
I mean,
pretty obvious.
She's literally running up a hill, but she has to put in the work. She had to put in the personal work to fight past her biases and her emotional fears, so that when Lucas tells her, I'm still here, she finally believes him.
Yeah.
And why did she put in that work? Because she finally has these secure attachments. And his hair is fantastic. Throw me a house party.
So I've been thinking, 2 of the 3 of Vecna's victims were seeing Miss Kelly, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I figured there's a good chance Vecna cursed another one of her students. We go back to her office, we read all of her files, we look for mentions of headaches, nosebleeds, nightmares, we identify his most likely next victim, we stake out his house, and
Lucas, stop. We don't have time for any of that, okay? And even if we did, even if your plan did work, we'd be putting a total stranger at risk. A stranger who has no idea what they're up against.
Yeah.
I do. He uses my memories against me. But only my darkest memories. Same with Chrissy and Fred, right?
Right.
It's like he only sees the darkness in us. So I'll just run in the opposite direction.
I love that.
Run to the light. And maybe he won't be able to find me there.
Now how exactly do you plan on doing this?
I'm not sure. But it's my mind. Not his, right? So I should be able to control where I am. I just need to push him away, find a happy memory, and hide there. Hide in the light.
You got a memory in mind?
Which, I mean,
Yeah. It was a time when I was...
I never did this type of work in therapy. Is this
Oh,
type
yeah.
of thing that you do with
This is
clients?
the not bullshit version of positive psychology.
Okay.
There.
It's presumptuous of you.
Such a teen boy. And we're calling back to Presumptuous.
Yeah.
2 seasons ago.
Yeah, you might have been there.
Yeah, we watch our own show. What?
Okay, but this is to live. Colin and Kate Bush. All right?
Okay. Deal.
Deal.
as with most beautiful emotional scenes, it's very simply shot. Mm-hmm. We've got a couple of close-ups. We've got a 2-shot just in case we need to cut to that. We're relying on a great script and phenomenal performances and some, great music from Stein and what's his name? The other guy. Sorry, guys. I love your score. This show is a damn miracle.
So when I say it's the not bullshit version of positive psychology, the bullshit version of positive psychology is be positive, everything's okay, focus on what's good, pull yourself up by your boots, and pull yourself up by your bootstraps.
Bootstraps.
Yeah.
You need to acknowledge what's hard,
Yeah.
what's sad, what's dark. If you don't, it will always be nipping at your heels, and it will take over you at inopportune times because you've been ignoring it.
Right.
Real positive psychology acknowledges all of that, and it doesn't lean on false hope or affirmations that we don't believe.
Right.
It's about finding, okay, what are the affirmations that I do believe? What is the hope that is real that I can put stock in, or real enough that I can pursue it and create it? What are the connections that matter to me? What are the happy memories that are real and grounded? Positive psychology is only bullshit when it's bullshit. When you base but when you base it on something that's real that you can believe in, and sometimes you have to hack away at your thinking errors or your misperceptions or your limiting self-belief so that you can see what's real. But I always tell all my clients this, I'm like, I'm not asking you to believe in something that is fake just so we can pretend. I'm asking you to help me find something that is real and genuine that you can hold on to, that will nourish you and give you strength. And that's what she's talking about.
Yeah.
And I love the symbolism of run towards the light.
Yeah.
Not walk, not move, like run.
Run.
Yeah.
We're filming this before season 5. Any of it has dropped. By the time this comes out, most of it will be out. Maybe all of it. And I will be sad for this show to end because it's been, such a great 10 years of my life.
Yeah.
I know a lot of you feel that way too. Let us know who we should talk about next, which of the characters, which of the storylines. We could just become the Stranger Things show and not run out of stuff to talk about for a year.
So until next time.
I didn't realize it was such an honor to go trick-or-treating with you.
There's more to life than stupid boys.
And watch
series.
Stranger Things.
Stranger Things, yeah.
Yep. We want to thank our patrons who support this show. There's all kinds of great stuff over there. You can check it out, patreon.com/cinematherapy. Anyway, people with names like this name.
Mickey Europe.
Claire V. Dot.
Tiger__ Tora.
William Refus.
And Green Fairy.
I like the Green Fairy.
I like the Green Fairy a lot. We love you all. Thank you, patrons.
Especially you, Green Fairy.